Hello, everyone, welcome back to the channel Future Force Skies and Steel. Please subscribe and like my videos because today we are exploring one of the most shocking, powerful, and symbolic events ever captured on camera. An event that not only stunned Moscow but also echoed across the entire world. The drone footage showing Russia's $1.2 billion towers burning in flames is more than just a video of destruction. It is a story of pride and vulnerability, of wealth and fragility, of modern warfare meeting architectural ambition. These towers were never supposed to fall victim to such a scene. They were designed as icons of luxury, symbols of power, monuments of Russian ambition to stand shoulder to shoulder with the great cities of the world. Yet today the footage shows glass raining down, fire bursting through windows, smoke choking the skyline, and $1 billion investment turned into a burning reminder that in this new era of conflict, no structure, no matter how expensive, is beyond reach. When we think about what these towers represented, we have to begin by remembering the way they looked before this devastation. Their exteriors were among the most dazzling sights in Moscow. Glittering glass facades stretched hundreds of meters into the sky, catching the first rays of the sunrise and reflecting them back like beacons. At night, they lit up with neon reflections, glowing in blue, gold, and silver like futuristic castles overlooking the city. Every detail of their design was deliberate. Their sharp edges and modern curves symbolized not just modern architecture but confidence. They told every visitor to Moscow that Russia was strong, wealthy, and forward-looking. Their polished exteriors made them more than buildings. They were statements written in steel and glass. But now, when we look at them in the drone footage, that message has been rewritten. Flames tearing through upper floors, black smoke rising like scars into the sky, exteriors collapsing under the force of explosions. The perfect symmetry of their design broken by holes punched through glass, steel bending and twisting in the heat. What once looked unbreakable now looks fragile, vulnerable, and temporary. The exteriors tell us that pride, no matter how carefully built, can be torn apart in minutes. The interiors are even more striking when we imagine what has been lost. Inside those billion-dollar towers was a world created for the elite. The lobbies alone were masterpieces, floors of imported marble polished until they reflected everything like a mirror, walls lined with art, sculptures, and shimmering metallic finishes. Massive glass panes rising from floor to ceiling, giving every visitor the sense of walking into the future. The offices inside were modern and sleek, equipped with smart lighting that adjusted automatically, climate control systems that created perfect comfort, and layouts designed to maximize both beauty and efficiency. On the upper levels, lounges offered panoramic views of Moscow's skyline, where the city stretched endlessly below. These lounges were not simply for coffee breaks, they were stages where power was displayed. Executives, politicians, and billionaires looked down from these towers and felt untouchable. There were also restaurants serving the most exclusive cuisines, gyms and spas with private access, and boardrooms where billion-dollar deals were signed. The interiors were built not just for business but for prestige, designed to impress both locals and international guests. Now picture that same world as the drones struck. Smoke filling the hallways, alarms screaming, sprinklers spraying water onto priceless art, ceilings collapsing, and people rushing through stairwells in panic. The silence of luxury replaced by chaos. The interiors that once symbolized control and elegance were transformed into scenes of confusion and destruction. Expensive furniture, paintings, and cutting-edge equipment were turned to ash. Floors that once hosted champagne toasts became filled with debris and fire. The interiors show us that wealth cannot shield you when the flames of war arrive. The performance of the drones is another part of this story that cannot be ignored. These were not massive bombers or expensive fighter jets. They were small, unmanned aerial vehicles, inexpensive compared to the towers they destroyed, yet devastating in their precision. They traveled silently across hundreds of kilometers, avoided one of the most advanced air defense networks in the world, and hit their targets directly. Their performance was efficient, effective, and terrifying. What they proved is that in modern warfare, size does not matter anymore. It is precision, stealth, and technology that carry the day. The drones showed that even billion-dollar defenses can be outmaneuvered by weapons that cost a fraction of what they destroy. The performance of the towers, on the other hand, was weak in comparison. For all their strength and design, they were not built to withstand attacks. Their glass shattered instantly, their steel bent under fire, their systems collapsed. They were built for luxury, not resilience. The footage shows this clearly. The drones performed perfectly, the towers collapsed under pressure. That contrast is the heart of this moment. Safety features existed, but they were quickly overwhelmed. These towers were equipped with advanced fire alarms, sprinkler systems, smoke ventilation technology, reinforced stairwells, and constant surveillance. On paper, they were safe. In reality, safety measures designed for accidents cannot withstand deliberate attacks. Sprinklers hissed and sprayed, but fire fed by explosions raged uncontrollably. Smoke ventilation worked, but the volume of smoke filled every hallway. Security cameras recorded everything, but they could not stop the flames. Evacuation procedures were in place, but the sheer number of people and the speed of the disaster overwhelmed them. Safety systems are designed to prevent tragedy in everyday scenarios. They are not designed to save a billion-dollar skyscraper from a drone strike. That is the brutal truth this footage reveals. The gap between design and reality has never been more clear. The unique qualities of these towers only amplify the tragedy. They were designed to be Moscow's answer to the global financial districts of London, New York, and Dubai. They were supposed to attract international corporations, global investors, and the world's attention. Their selling points were speed, luxury, exclusivity, and power. High-speed elevators that glided silently between dozens of floors in seconds. Panoramic glass walls that offered views unmatched anywhere else in the city. Security systems that gave the impression of safety and control. Interiors filled with luxury so that simply walking into the building was an experience of awe. These were the features that sold the towers to the world. The reasons people paid premium prices to work or live inside them. But the footage of flames and destruction turned those unique selling points into reminders of fragility. What use are high-speed elevators if the power is cut and they are stuck between floors? What use is panoramic glass when it shatters into lethal shards? What use is exclusivity when the fire treats every floor the same? The very qualities that made these towers special now highlight the magnitude of their loss. The price of these towers is perhaps the most staggering part of all. Valued at $1.2 billion, they were among the most expensive and prestigious properties in Russia. They were more than buildings, they were investments in Russia's future, symbols of its ambition to rival the great centers of the world. That price tag represented more than concrete, glass, and steel. It represented confidence, pride, and a vision of Russia as a global power. But in a matter of minutes, drones worth a fraction of that cost reduced this massive investment to rubble. Insurance companies, investors, and government officials now face losses that go beyond money. The destruction of the towers has cost Russia credibility. It has sent a message to investors worldwide that even the most expensive properties are not safe. The billions spent to create symbols of power are now matched by the billions lost in destruction. The footage is a reminder that in this new age, money cannot buy invincibility. What this all leads to is a conclusion that forces us to rethink how we see the world. The towers burning in Moscow are not just another story of war. They are a sign of the times. They show us that the future of warfare is not massive tanks or heavy bombers, but small, unmanned machines that can strike with precision at the very heart of a nation. They show us that pride can be shattered, that wealth can be burned, and that no matter how tall or expensive a building is, it is still vulnerable. For Russia, this is a humiliation, a reminder that even in its capital city, in the heart of its wealth, it cannot guarantee safety. For the world, it is a lesson. It is proof that power is no longer measured only in armies and missiles, but in the ability to adapt to new technologies. The drone footage is dramatic, yes, but it is also symbolic. It is history written in flames across the Moscow skyline. These towers once stood as proof of ambition. Now they stand as proof of fragility. Their exteriors scarred, their interiors gutted, their safety features overwhelmed, their unique selling points erased, their billion-dollar price tag rendered meaningless. All of this captured in drone footage that has traveled the world. This story does not end with the flames. It continues with the consequences. The loss of these towers will ripple through Russia's economy, affecting confidence, investment, and politics. It will ripple through military strategy as nations now see how drones can bypass defenses once thought impenetrable. It will ripple through psychology as people realize that no matter how secure or luxurious their environment may seem, it can be undone in moments. This is the world we live in now, a world where wealth cannot guarantee safety and ambition can collapse in the glow of fire. The footage is not just a recording of destruction. It is a symbol of a new age. The age of drones, the age of vulnerability, the age where $2 billion can go up in flames in a matter of minutes. And as we watch this footage, as we analyze the exteriors, the interiors, the performance, the safety features, the unique selling points, the price, and the ultimate loss, we realize that this is not just Russia's story. It is the world's story. Because what happened in Moscow can happen anywhere. What fell in flames in one city could fall in another, and that is why this footage is unforgettable.